Oops. Okay, guys, hold on. I'm trying to get my little, there it goes. Okay, guys, welcome to our Monday tip of the week call, and I'm super excited to be sharing with you all today. Thanks for being on today. I can't even remember what I put on the red stamp, but something about today is what matters. And so my focus today on this quick tip is going to be all about how to make the most of our day. So I want to share, I just put a couple of things down on the screen because I'm a visual person, and you know that most of us are. Did you guys know that? So what we see resonates a lot quicker. So when we see things in visuals and pictures, it helps. So starting with the end in mind, you guys, we want to have an end of the year goal. Then that turns into, when we work backwards from there, because this is how it's going to get us to our daily to-do list. So we have our end of the year goal, and then we work backwards. And I gotta make sure I'm recording because I didn't think I was. Sorry, I apologize for those. Can somebody, oh no, you guys won't know. Sorry, guys.
It is
recording. Okay, it's recording, Beth.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, you guys. Okay, so we have our end of the year goal, then we work backwards to our quarterly goal, then we work backwards even further to our monthly goal, then we work even into our weekly goal, and then we come up with our daily goals. So let's say you guys have a goal of regional vice president at the end of the year. So I'm going to show you guys something really quick. I'm going to show you this visual because I want you to kind of see this is a great working backwards. So if your goal at the end of the year is regional vice president, then you'll see on this little screen, you'll see, okay, so that's like 10 months from now, what do I want to be hitting? 56,000. And see how this works backwards? So this month, if you're brand new, then you want to at least be hitting 2,500 QV, if not more. If you start this month off at 3,500 QV, you can see that you just took out a month, and you can reduce that. So this will highlight, I put this in here so you guys could see when we work backwards, it helps us to see how basic it is when we work towards those goals. But this will help us come up with that daily to-do. Now, if you're curious about this RVP goal breakdown, it is on my website. So if you go to bethghilardi.com, Arbonne, all lowercase, is the password. And if you go to the goals section, you'll find this. So just so you guys know, in case you haven't seen it before. So yeah, so here we go. We're going to get down to our daily goals. What we do daily goals, we know that. Also what we track grows as well. And if you have not yet watched that quick video that was posted, Dana posted it, we've all posted it, it's posted on my Facebook page, Terry posted it on her Facebook page, it's been posted quite a bit, about our daily goals, about procrastination. If you have not yet watched that, because I will say that the killer of our business and the killer of making the most of a daily goal and what we do daily is procrastination. A really not so fun word, another word for procrastination is laziness, you guys. So just so you know that I love the way this guy said it. He's like, basically he said, I really don't, and it's like 2 minutes long, you guys, so make sure you watch it if you haven't watched it yet. But he basically said, I really don't believe in procrastination. Procrastination just means, another way to look at it just means that what it is that we're trying to do is not meaningful enough for us. Like, we really just don't care. He's like, when you find something that's meaningful, you get up early in the morning, you stay up late for it, you carve out time in your schedule for it, you make sure it's working. And just like I talked about last week with Terry, if our why is not motivating us, and like those questions that I asked out of John Maxwell's book, and if we answered, yes to a bunch of those questions, then our why isn't big enough or deep enough. You guys, you want a why that makes you work. And yes, we want whys that make us cry too, because those meaningful whys that really get us in the gut, sometimes are enough, but sometimes they're not. So you have to ask yourself, if you're struggling with that, you have to say, if I take Arbonne completely out of my life, like if I take it out, like the potential and possibility of making a regional vice president or national vice president pay, or even an area manager pay, take that out, then ask yourself, what is your life going to look like? What's the stress going to be? Are you going to be able to pay those bills off? Figure that out, you guys, because if time and money weren't an issue, what would you be doing? Maybe, I remember a gal one time was struggling with her whys, and I said, well, let's make them basic. Sometimes we make those whys too big and they're not tangible enough. And she's like, I hate it that I don't get to go to Costco during the day. I'm like, hey, that's great. And then I said, what about your kids? I hate it that I don't get to be the mom that gets to go on the field trips whenever I want. I hate it that I can't just show up at school and take my kids to lunch if I want them to. And so then she began to find and develop. So you guys, they don't have to be these great big growing whys, because that will happen. But if you're looking for something that's going to make you work, you need to figure out what is tangible, what's something you can grab right now. For example, break down the average incomes. Let's say you're an area manager making $2,000 a month. What does that enable you to do? A regional vice president making $7,000 a month. What does that enable you to do? A national vice president making $17,000, $20,000 a month. What does that enable you to do? But we've got to find a way, because otherwise me talking about how important our daily goal is and how we can make our life simpler with this business isn't going to affect us at all if we don't have something meaningful to get us to do what we need to do every day. So you guys, years and years ago, because my oldest one is almost 25, so this is a long time ago. But I was not planting, or I'm sorry, I didn't start a business when my kids were itty bitty. Like Benny was my youngest and he was 6. But we did plant a church. And in 2003, when I was pregnant with my daughter, who's my second, we planted a church in Norman, Oklahoma. You guys, I was the ripe old age of 23, and my husband was 25. We had never planted a church before. We had mentors that were helping us, but they were far away from us, like 1,500 miles away from us in California. We were in Oklahoma. And it was crazy scary. Like, it was nuts. Like, we started in my mom's living room. And we had a couple people at the beginning. And for a few years, it was like 25 people. We went from place to place. One time we were meeting in somebody's home or our home. And then we even converted our garage at one time to like this big space where we could have church in there. We stuck like a real estate sign in our free yard at Calvary Chapel. I mean, guys, we went through some crazy stuff. Well, as I kept popping out babies, because it felt like I was popping out babies for several years, and we also decided to homeschool our kids. And I said we. Forgive me for saying we. I decided to homeschool our kids. We did make that decision collectively, but it was all me homeschooling because my husband was working full-time and he was a full-time pastor. So it was craziness around our house. And we lived in this tiny little home, you guys. The first house we ever bought was $28,000. It was 725 square foot. Crazy, right? And but when we decided to homeschool, Caleb was going to be 5 in the month of August of 1997. That same month, I happened to have my 4th baby. So Benny was born on August 18th. Caleb turned 5 1 week later. And then Samantha was 3 and a half, almost 4. And then Nathan was 1. And so it was a little crazy town. And I remember at that time, my husband was still working full time. We did not have any church staff at the time. So all the church phone numbers were forwarded to our home. So between the times of like 8 and 5, I had to answer the phone, Calvary Chapel, and I had to handle like all the church secretarial things at that time, along with homeschooling 2 out of my 4 children, and then also with juggling all the things that we were juggling with planting a church. Now, it felt a lot. Like when I look back at that, now I wasn't creating an Arbonne business when my babies were little, but we were planting a church, which was a lot alike. They're very similar. And so years ago, I created a system that helped me when I got into Arbonne. And so I want to help you with this as well. And I'm going to give you some tools that we already have. These tools that you're going to see on the next slides are already on my website. They've been on my website for a long time, ever since we, started it. But I want to share with you the power of a daily goal, because it will either make or break you and your business, because we're all busy, you guys. We all have busy full-time lives. You're never going to have a moment where the clouds open up and you hear that hallelujah chorus that says, look, you have all the time in the world to go build your business. Now, I will say this, at this point in my life and in my business, because I'm almost an empty nester, I might as well be, because Benny's on his own, but he still lives with us. I have a lot of more time today to go out there and build my business because of what I've created and because now I'm on the other stage of parenting, right? But in those early years, what I did was I had a monthly goal. I had to have what our days were going to look like throughout the week. And on Sunday nights, Vince and I would sit down for about 45 minutes together and we would talk about what the week looked like. We would talk about what he had going, what I had going, what he could do for me that I couldn't do, what I could do for him to help. And we had a great conversation about the week. And then what we did is we broke that down. I broke it down into daily goals. I knew on Sunday night what I was going to need to accomplish every single day. So today, how that would look in Arbonne world, it'd be like, who am I going to make? Who's going to be, who are the phone calls I'm going to make on Monday? Who are the phone calls I'm going to make on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Now, guys, you can wait until just the night before to set that out. But this is where I took it a step further, and it helped me tremendously as I dove into my business. Now today, because I don't have my kids' schedules to juggle, I do just create mine the night before. But depending on your world and how you can do it, this is why I love to teach people that there's not a schedule too busy to make this happen. Now, what happens is the days that I was not diligent, the days that I gave into procrastination or laziness, we did not have a very fun household. And the person who was the most stressed out was yours truly, me. And then that stress resonated to my kids. And then I started to see it affecting them. And that's just not worth it, you guys. So these are just some ideas on how to make the most of what you have, because it is truly powerful. I tell people all the time, really, if you could find 45 minutes a day to carve out for your Arbonne business, besides the days that you have activity, that's all you need, because it's the power of focused time. Guys, what happens is people will say, okay, I'm going to work Arbonne for an hour today, but then they're changing the laundry, or they're, going to pick up their kids at school during that time. And I'm like, gosh, if you just had some focused time, it really wouldn't take you an hour. It's just that we've juggled a lot of other things at the same time. And I'm not shunning that, because I've definitely always multitasked. But when you can take 15 minutes, I remember I used to teach women in our women's Bible studies all the time. Ladies would ask me, I don't know how to keep my home, decent looking. I'm like, 15 minutes of focused effort in one area. But what happens is people try to clean all different areas at one time instead of focusing on one little area and getting that taken care of in the next day. That I also had a list of things that we would work on every day, chores too, but that's a whole nother training, and I know that's not what you are here to help talk about. But hopefully this will help you to create that daily goal. So guys, back then, like today, I came up with a daily to-do list. And that daily to-do list, you've heard us say this so many times, it's so important that daily to-do list is made at least the night before. Now, if you want to be like I was back then, making it on Sunday night, that's great. But the night before is good. That's good enough. But you want to have a short list of 5 to 6 things for Arbonne. Number 1 and 2 and 3, we'll number those in priority, you guys. The most important. Now, I will say this, organizing your office is not on that list. Number 1, 2, and 3 have got to be income producing activities, that setting up appointments to talk to people about the business, setting up activity through one-on-ones, and parties, you guys. And let's say, for example, you're looking at tomorrow and you have, you don't have a whole lot happening at the end of February, and you're looking at an empty March. Well, gosh, everything on your list has to do with closing February strong, which I'm going to give you some ideas in just a second, to setting up the month of March, okay? So that's what's going to be on that list. Other things on that list could be follow up with a host, because you guys, a full calendar is awesome and great when it happens. But if there's not follow up and hostess coaching, it can disappear just like that. So following up with the host, following up with clients, following up with consultants on your team, all those things can come on that list. But really and truly, guys, those are the key, most important things. And everything else can just fall underneath that. Another thing that might help you with your day too is I like to be ready a day before. Like if I were to show you my closet right now, this is my Arbonne closet behind me. If I were to show you that, you would see that I have my Arbonne bag, my buckets, everything is always ready to go. When I have a party and I've used my free gift for the game that I play, I replenish that same night or the next morning, because I always want to be ready to go. That helped me tremendously. I still practice that, but boy, when I had 4 kids going in 4 different directions, Crazyville, I needed to have that. And it's, you guys, trust me, I'm not super organized. These are just little things that you can do to make your life easier, to make sure your day works. Okay, guys, so I love this. And this is the thing that I was talking about that is on my website. So this is your weekly focus plan, you guys. Doing your part sheet. And the goal is to have 500 QV every week at the end of every week, you guys. And really you're looking for more than that, because our goal is to hit the 2,500 at least. 2,500 with new activity. Guys, when we're shooting for that 2,500, we don't want to be counting our personal orders and PCs from the month before. That'll just be icing on the cake and put us over the 2,500. This is supposed to be all new. Remember, you guys, a goal without a plan or action is just a daydream. It just sticks in our head, or it just stays on paper. So this is going to give you a great idea. So guys, when you print this out, you'll see that I have the place right here is for each day for you to have your daily to-do list. And if you're taking Sunday off, you can add that in. I like to have a daily to-do list on all 7 days, but it's up to you. Now you can write those things down, but this gives you an idea of what you want to be looking for each week. You know, we want to have at least be presenting at least 2 presentations. We want to have prospecting packets out. We want to have samples out. Now, this document was made a long time ago before our 30 Days to Healthy Living became so popular. So you could add in this section right here, you could add sample packs for that as well. And then you guys, personal development. I love it when you can cross these days off and write down what it was. So when you track that, and you can say, let's say you hit a rut in your business and you're really down and you start to lose your belief and you start to listen to Dan Doubt. And then you can go back to your weekly focus plan and go, wow, it's been like 2 weeks since I've read and listened to any kind of a training. And guess what? Then, you know, bingo, now I know why my head's in the gutter, right? And you guys, that's just true for life. I mean, it's just true for life. You know, you probably heard me tell the story of our cousin who told me that every day he gets home, his wife is like, you know, why are you always in such a bad mood when you get home from work? He's like, I don't know, I'm not in a bad mood. She goes, yes, you are. And so I asked him, I said, what do you listen to? Hold on, guys, I'll make sure everybody's muted. I said, what do you listen to on your way home from work? And he said, well, the news. And I said, try listening to like K-Love on the way home from work. And he's like, that's not going to change my attitude. I'm like, well, and so then the next time I saw him, he's like, oh my gosh, I did that just for a week. And my wife made a comment. She goes, you're in such a good mood. I love this you. I hope you stay this you. So guys, it makes a difference. What we're filling our brain with, it's going to either lead us down a good path or it's going to take us down a dark path. What we watch, what we allow our ears to hear. I'm amazed, and please don't take this wrong if you're a parent that allows your 3-year-olds to listen to crazy rap, but I'm amazed at some of the music that my friends or people I know allow their tiny little kids with those beautiful shaped brains that are being molded and shaped listen to. I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, I don't even think I was introduced to that kind of music until I was 14 years old, and I'm so grateful because those are when our thoughts and patterns are being molded the most. So as a side note, that was a tangent. Sorry about that. But what we, you know, whatever dog we feed will grow. So I hope this helps. And if you have not used this yet, I challenge you, go on my website, it's under goals, print it out, and utilize this. Let this be your boss. This goes hand in hand with the 40 faces. And again, guys, I'm not trying to overwhelm you with documents. If you need, some people operate where they need something a little bit more broken down. For some of you, the 40 faces is good enough. And if that is good enough for you, then that's awesome. For some of you, you might want something that's a little more broken down. So this gives you something that's a little bit more broken down for you, just to make sure you're on chart or on track for your 2500 QV. So again, it's up to you that the tools that you want to use for what you need to grow. And I already showed you guys this from working backwards, but what we've shared is when we work backwards from this and we get down to what is our daily goal, that's what's going to help us tremendously. I just can't stress it enough, you guys, being prepared the night before for the next day. And there is a sense of, when we cross off the first 2 things in the morning, like when we make our phone calls first or we reach out first, there's this feeling that you can take on the world the rest of the day. If you wait until 8:45 p.m. at night, you're a stress case the whole entire day. So my suggestion is you bite off the hardest thing first and get it out of the way. So I'm going to talk about some ways to really close out February strong, you guys. You're never going to get me on a call at the end of the month without addressing the month. We have 1.5 days left this month. I was going to actually figure out how many hours there are, but I'm not going to do that right now. So we have a lot of time left. We have the rest of today, and we have all day tomorrow until 10 p.m. Pacific. For those of you guys on the East Coast, you get it till 1 a.m. So that's pretty cool. But this has been working really well for a ton of us. And if you were on the call with Miranda Bertram last Wednesday, you heard her share this verbiage. And she shared how she used this verbiage to help get her business growing in the month of December. And you guys, a lot of us have been using this and it works great. Now, once somebody responds, then our goal is to send a video. What I've been sending is the 9-minute Tanda Cook video. It's on her YouTube channel. If you just type in Tanda Cook, it's 9 minutes. You can see that it has, like, we've shared it on my Facebook page as well. but it has a PowerPoint that goes with it. Whitney created a really, really fun video that outlines like results, before and after photos, some pictures of some of the meals. It's just a really great quick video, and we can share that on the Facebook page too, because that's what a lot of girls have been sending out. It's just that quick video. Because here's the thing, you guys, people just want to know that there's a plan. They just want to know, can I eat food? Because when they hear detox, they think I'm going to just drink stuff all the time, and that would be horrible. They want to know, can I eat food? They want to know that they have support. And we have a group starting on March 6th, you guys. And so it's important to get the information out. I mean, think about it, you guys. Go big or go home. Decide today that you want to get a lot of people on this program between today and tomorrow, because really we can create urgency. We have a group starting on Monday. We just have to get your order in today, tomorrow at the latest, so that you have all that you need. But think about it, if you send out 50 of these text messages, I mean, and I suggest you even go bigger than that, but let's say you start with 50. Now we have Facebook, we have, oh, I forgot my notes. We have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Instagram, and for those of you who have not yet embraced social media, you're missing out. It's another reach out method. But there are lots of ways. Like, I know I heard Nikki Yates was sharing that she had shared her testimony because she's been on the program since the beginning of January. She shared a picture of herself, and then she had tons of people liking it. And for those people who were non-Arbonne, she reached out to them with this verbiage, and she's got 20 people looking into it. And she's got a new healthy living party booked and a lot more chatter coming after that. So that's crazy. Guys, it just gets the ball rolling. But imagine if you sent out 50 texts today. We all sent out 50 texts today. And 15 people, just 15, I'm not even talking about half at 25, but 15 people take you up on it. Guys, that's $4,470 in QV today. Today or tomorrow. For those of you who are consultants, that's like almost district manager. That's a lot of extra money. That's, I don't know, $800 or $750 in a paycheck plus $100. That's like $850 paycheck. I mean, this is how simple this is, you guys, because this type of verbiage has been working. And it really just takes a little bit of effort to find those folks and shoot it out. You guys, you could reach out to, for those of you who've been in the business for a long time, you can reach out to old consultants. I've reached out to old consultants. I've reached out to PCs who are RA9 PCs. I've reached out to all different types of people. It really just takes doing the do. So I highly suggest, if you guys have not seen this verbiage, it's also posted on my team page. I posted it in the comment section of Miranda Burcham's YouTube. But we can repost it. So hopefully you got it enough to see this. And then I'm going to show you a couple other texts because there's a lot of things we could do the Genius Ultra. I don't know if you guys saw Whitney's post with her doing her lips, which was crazy, crazy, crazy. But she's sold a whole lot of those Genius Ultras by doing that. So if you have not done something like that yet with results, you guys, it's so key to do. I've done my own personal ones and sent them out. I need to do more official ones like they did. But you guys, you could send that picture out. You could say, I'm so excited about these results. I would love to run by and show you how they can be your results as well. I'm scheduling 20-minute trial slots today and tomorrow. Does the morning or evening work best for you? You could say the same thing about cosmetics, you guys. You can say the same thing that, hey, I'm color matching a few friends and I would love to run by and let you see how great these products work on your skin. Let me know, does morning or evening work best for you? And these are basically just these quick setup times. You could say the same thing for just them purchasing a right out from seeing a picture or from them seeing a video, because there's so many to choose from. I'm so excited about these results. Let me know if you'd like to be part of a group of folks that they're going for the same thing. I can get you a great deal, 40% off, and you're basically getting 3 products for free. And I say that, you guys, because when somebody buys the Genius Ultra ASVP, they're basically just paying for the Ultra. They're getting that package at 40% off. So I let people know. So basically, because the Ultra, what it costs retail, you're basically getting the serum, the eye cream, and their free products. So they're getting 3 products for free. That's powerful, you guys, but just 5 of those. So let's say you sent out 25 text messages about the ASVP and 5 people get that. That's $13.85 in QV, you guys. So we got to go big. Decide today that you want to go big in the month of February, you guys. A lot of times at this point, if people haven't hit their goal for the month of February, they're already looking into March. Now, while I'm looking ahead in March as well in scheduling, I'm still working hard to close out February because I'm still in the month of February. But these ideas can push you way past that original goal that you had at the beginning of the month. So that's what I want to challenge you guys all to do, is embrace some of these reach out methods, you guys, and see what works. I will say this, you're going to have to do a lot of individual reaching out too. So that will help you tremendously. But the other thing that will happen is it will bring up some chatter, and it'll help you as you're making phone calls to fill up your calendar for the month of March, you guys, because March is coming quick. It's Thursday, so we want to be thinking about what our goal is for March, but we don't want to get ahead of ourselves when we're still in the month of February. So what I want to do is open this call up for questions or comments. I would love to hear from you guys. Hey, Robin, Perna, I would not put that verbiage on Instagram. I'm sorry, I should have been more clear. I meant private messaging on Instagram. You can private message people on Instagram, you can private message people on Twitter, and you can private message people on Facebook. That's how I would do it. So I've had several people, I don't know if you guys saw my post on Instagram, it was that little cute little girl in her bikini. It says lots of her body is bikini ready, but you know, it's kind of cracking a joke at the little rolls that she has. And so I've had several people like that. Well, I've had a lot of people like that that are not Arbonne people. So my goal today is to reach out to them saying, hey, I saw you like my post. Would you be interested in learning some more? I'm looking to, with this verbiage would be the next step in my text right there. So hopefully that helps. Anybody else, you guys? Questions or comments?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm outside. I'm trying to let Maverick play while we do this call. So I just wanted to say that that this verbiage really works. I spent, earlier in the week, well, actually right after Miranda did that call on Wednesday night, I started shooting that verbiage to people, and I sold 5 ASVP packs in 48 hours. And then today I've been following back up with people who were interested in the Genius Ultra, and I've already sold 2 ASVP packs today. So I know some of you guys are at work right now, and you'll be starting reaching out whenever you get off. But I think that the main thing is just know that you're going to have to send it to more than 10 people. And when you're persistently and pleasantly, consistent following up with people, then the results will come.
Thank you, Whitney.
You're welcome.
Hey, if you guys haven't seen her picture, go to Whitney